Hey out there, it's David Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor and Mortgage Protection Agent Mentor, where I help agents like you succeed in selling insurance. And the topic of today's video is dealing with the objection, I have enough life insurance when selling mortgage protection. Most likely you're on this call to listen to this video because you've heard this objection before. Maybe you're brand new and you're thinking, well, geez, how do I overcome this objection when somebody says they have life insurance? Well, I'm going to explain two different circumstances where this objection will come up. It'll come up on the phone and it will come up in the sales presentation. I'm going to take this time in the video to explain how to handle both. But I want to first start off by saying this is actually the best objection you can hear. Ask any expert life insurance agent and they will tell you the best people to sell to are the people that are already paying the life insurance premium. What does this mean? Well, if you got somebody who has life insurance, is actively paying for it, they're a believer. People say across the country that life insurance is important, and a lot of people will agree with that. But you know what? That all doesn't matter if they aren't paying for it. As they say, the rubber has to meet the road. If you got somebody who is buying life insurance on a weekly or monthly basis, at least paying for it, they understand the consequences. They believe in the product. They know what happens without it. And these are the kind of people that are the best customers. And so when you hear the objection, I have life insurance or enough life insurance, you need to get excited. You don't need to get depressed because a lot of these people have life insurance that have inadequate coverage. Maybe they have life insurance, but not enough. Maybe they've got enough life insurance, but it's got inadequate amount of coverage. It's maybe too expensive. So there's all sorts of ways that you can build upon the coverage that they have in place or better improve it with a better price. So you need to be excited when you hear somebody say, I've got life insurance already, I'm totally fine. Plus, some people just don't understand really how much life insurance they need to have if they have a responsible and comprehensive financial plan. Most people are inadequately covered, and a lot of the time they just don't think about it. But if you take the opportunity to fight for the appointment anyway when you hear this, what's going to happen is it gives you the ability to sell the reason to own more. And most people just don't have enough. So don't get discouraged by this, ladies and gentlemen. Be excited. So why would you hear this objection to begin with? Because people just respond in a knee-jerk objection when they hear somebody talk about life insurance. They think about what they own through work or maybe the small policy that they have, and they already have a preconceived notion of what life insurance is. Life insurance is what they own. And what they own is not a big burden to them. It may be enough coverage in their own minds. Again, perception is reality. So when they say, I have enough life insurance or I have life insurance, I don't really need what you have to offer. Again, that is in their minds accurate. And so what you need to do is understand that your job is to be an agent of change and is to educate and grow them mentally to an understanding that there actually is a need perhaps for more or for better coverage. Of course, if you're doing this over the phone, which is the first place that you'll hear this objection, you won't always be in a circumstance to where you'll be able to say, hey, you just don't know, let me come over there and show you. You got to be able to be positive. You got to be able to be in a position to where you take that objection and turn it around and make it something intriguing and exciting and a reason to meet. With that said, I've done in other videos, you don't want to sell the appointment. But what you want to do is back up your rebuttal to this objection with enthusiasm. You want to back it up with energy, and you want to sell the appointment, not the product. So here's how you do it. When somebody says, I've got enough life insurance, I say, well, fantastic, Mr. Jones. I'm excited to hear that you have it. A lot of people that I see don't have it. And here's the thing. The reason people like you with life insurance meet with me anyway is because they're good people that want to make sure they've got the best coverage in place for their family. They love their family, and they want to make sure that they have a second opinion and make sure what options are out there are known to them to ensure them that they're doing their family the best job. And look, I am not here to give you a hard time or harass you. All I need is 5 minutes to show you how this works. It's my job to do this. And look, Mr. Jones, what you do with this is totally up to you. If you like what I show you, great. If you don't, you can toss me out and we'll still be friends. How's Tuesday at 2 work? So this objection, it spends some time building, and let me kind of break it down. This rebuttal, first of all, I stroked them. Congratulations, you did a great job. I really mean that because it's good they've got life insurance. Not most people don't have it. Then I tell them, a lot of people, I hear this objection from people a lot. So there's like, hey, you're not the only one. So it makes them sound like they've got a good reason to think it. Then I turn the tables on them and say, hey, there's a reason these people meet with me anyway. So now he's kind of interested, like, oh, people still meet? Why? And I kind of gave a verbose explanation. I could cut that down a little bit, but the idea they meet with me anyway is they value their life insurance coverage. They know how important it is, and they feel it's important to get a second opinion just to make sure they've got the best and newest plans available. I didn't say newest, but that's the implication, that they're up to date, they see what their other options are, and then make sure they're doing the best job by their family. So I turn this into a bigger picture reason why. I turn it into from, hey, it's, I'm trying to sell you something, to, hey, do this, you're doing right by your family by getting a second opinion and ensuring you got the best thing for your family. And then I sell the appointment. All I need is 5 minutes to show you this information. It's my job. And what you do with the information is up to you. And then I close. How's Tuesday at 2? This is how you overcome this objection. Look, and understand, I didn't go into a dissertation about how great my insurance product is on a technical basis. I didn't talk about premiums. I didn't talk about riders. I didn't talk about the company. That's all nonsense at this point. You're not in an intellectual battle here. You're in a battle to sell the appointment and to give them just enough of a hook to intrigue them through tonality and through the little hook that you give them that may intrigue them, to set an easy, no obligation appointment so they understand they're not under any pressure to buy. So that does a really good job of setting appointments and overcoming that objection. Now, you'll have the same objection in person where somebody says to you, I've got enough life insurance, I don't need enough. So this is a little different when you handle this in person, and you'll probably hear this more in the beginning. I believe the best way around this objection is to overcome it to begin with. So I'm a big believer in what's called pre-qualifying. Pre-qualifying and fact-finding too is where we investigate and become more or less like the Columbo or a detective. We gather data and information about our prospect and figure out through the process of deduction what it is that they have and show them ways that we can actually improve upon that. So maybe in some circumstances, people say, I've got plenty of life insurance. I got enough life insurance to work. I've got 3 years worth of my wage. I have $150,000 in coverage. So what you have to do in these circumstances is to make the picture bigger. It's likely these people just don't understand what actually would happen when they die. And so you've got to fact find and then paint the picture ahead of time as to why you recommend more. And that's fairly easy to do. If this person has $100,000 in household income and 50 of that walks out the door and they die, sure, the wife will get $150,000, but the bills, the lifestyle's still at $100,000. That lasts for 3 years. Then they've got to downsize. Then they've got to change everything. Maybe she's got to marry again. Something like that. So look, and then you got the mortgage you got to pay for too. And then you got kids' college that you won't have any income to pay for. This is not enough coverage. Think about it. You make the case that there is a definite need for more coverage in a logical manner. And if they love their family, you'll be able to show them just how dramatic of a circumstance they would be in if they didn't have it. So you got to sell this stuff ahead of time in a fact-finding educational way. And you won't have this objection as much. Again, most people just don't have enough life insurance. There are some that will, but most of the people you see will not. And you've got to be able to explain to them the worst case scenario of what would happen. And as kind of corny as it sounds, there's an old saying in the life insurance business is you've got to have the prospect picture the hearse backed up against the front porch. So, I mean, it sounds maybe a little bit too high pressure, but people just don't think about dying and the consequences, and people vastly underestimate it. And so good fact-finding and pre-qualifying will overcome this enough of, I have enough life insurance objection. My name is David Duford. I am the founder of Final Expense Agent Mentor and Mortgage Protection Agent Mentor. If you like the idea of selling mortgage protection and would like to learn more about how my insurance agency works to help mortgage protection agents sell more mortgage protection, here's what you need to do. Go to mortgageprotectionagentmentor.com, click the contact box, send me a message. Otherwise, leave a comment or a question below. Be happy to help you out. And do make sure you subscribe and like this video. I do videos like this all the time. And I do hope you enjoyed today's training. Take care.